In Warframe, we have a staggering 16 different damage types. But have you ever wondered which one is actually the best overall? Since the Jade Shadows update, Magnetic has become one of the best status damage types in the entire game, especially for high-level content like level cap Void Cascade. Magnetic damage has positive multipliers against Corpus, Corpus Amalgam, and Tech Rod, while having a negative multiplier against an armor and being neutral against all other factions. The status effect of magnetic damage is called Disrupt, and it does 3 different things. First, it increases the damage that enemies take to their shields and overguard. This extra damage for an ability starts at 100% at 1 magnetic stack, scaling all the way up to 325% at 10 stacks. When magnetic is applied to an enemy, it will also prevent shield regeneration for 6 seconds. And last but definitely not least, magnetic is able to proc an electric damage over time effect when shields or overguard of an enemy breaks. The damage over time will then be calculated based on a percentage of this shield or overguard value. It will be a 3% value at 1 magnetic stack, and it will go all the way up to 30% of the initial overguard or shields at 10 magnetic stacks. And if you have an enemy that has both shields and overguard, that's 2 different electric damage over time effects, each based on their respective values. So how do you scale this electric DOT, you may ask? Because something that scales with enemy HP or enemy shields is usually super good. What you can do is you can stack different multipliers. We can use the electricity damage mods, which I mentioned before will scale the electricity damage over time, even though it's fused into a magnetic setup, for instance. We have the faction damage, which will apply twice. We have status damage. Then we also have status damage for an ability from Dante's Birds or the Burning Hate augment. And finally, we have viral procs, which will apply a 4.25 times multiplier to damage taken to health. You can even use Violet Archon shards for the extra 300% electricity damage on primaries, making shotguns specifically incredibly powerful for magnetic builds. The final piece of the puzzle is just to break those shields. And this is where an ability like Theral Strike comes in, a defensive strip, which will strip the entire shields away, that you can subsume onto any frame. As for dedicated synergies, Magnetic doesn't have too many standout arcanes, but it doesn't really need them. With all the dot scaling, it's already strong enough to one-shot enemies with just electric procs, all the way up to level cap. If you are pushing level cap content, like Void Cascade or Steel Path Endurance, I would definitely recommend that you try to run Magnetic on at least one of your weapons. Because of this scaling mechanic and basically infinite damage that Magnetic is able to provide, it lands comfortably into the actually insane tier.